Okay, let's talk about something big that's happening right now. For years, the whole game has been SEO, right? Well, the way we get found online is undergoing a massive shift. And honestly, if you're not paying attention, your brand, it really risks becoming invisible. So let's break down what's going on.
And I'm going to ask you a question, and it's a direct one. Is your website becoming invisible? I know, it's a kind of scary thought, especially after all the time, all the money, all the effort you've poured into trying to rank on Google. But here's the really unsettling part. Even sites that are perfectly optimized, the ones that did everything right, they're starting to just vanish from the most valuable real estate in search. The AI overviews, the voice results, the old SEO playbook, it's just not cutting it anymore.
So, what's the deal? What's causing this whole thing? Well, the problem, and actually the opportunity, is the rise of what we now call answer engines. This is the reason your traffic is at risk, so we really need to get a handle on how these things work.
Think about it. For like 20 years, the model's been the same. You type something in, Google gives you a list of 10 blue links. Simple. But answer engines, we're talking Google's AI overviews, ChatGPT, even Alexa, they work totally differently. They skip the list entirely and just give you one direct answer.
And this quote right here, it just hits the nail on the head. Most businesses still rely on traditional SEO, but ignore how AI tools now summarize answers. It's like we're all still playing the old game, completely missing the fact that the rules have totally changed. So this brings us to a new acronym that, I promise you, we all need to learn. AEO. It stands for Answer Engine Optimization. And put simply, AEO is all about tweaking your content so that it's the one that gets picked for that direct answer. It's about becoming the definitive source.
Okay, so I know we've kind of painted a scary picture, but here's the good news. There's a clear, really powerful solution, and it's not about throwing away everything you know. It's about building on it so you can win in this new era of search.
The solution is actually pretty simple. It's combining your SEO with AEO. You can't treat them like two different things anymore. As the slide says, it's an and, not an or. You don't ditch your SEO fundamentals, you just build this new layer right on top of them. Here's a great way to think about it. You basically need to make your website bilingual. It has to speak fluently to your human visitors, of course, but it also has to speak perfectly clearly to the algorithms and the AI that are now reading and trying to understand everything. All right, let's get practical. Enough with the theory. How do you actually do this stuff? Here is a simple 3-step action plan to get your content optimized for answers. Our plan really has 3 main pillars. First, we're going to focus on the content itself, being concise. Second, we'll look at the page's architecture, having a clear structure. And third, we're going to learn how to basically spoon feed all this to search engines using something called Schema Markup. Let's dig into each one. So let's break down step 1. When we say concise, we really mean it. The sweet spot that these AI answer engines are looking for is right around 40 to 60 words. The best way to think about it is like you're creating the perfect little summary paragraph for every single important question your audience might have. Now for step 2, structure is absolutely everything. Using clear headings and subheadings, your H1s or H2s, it creates a logical flow. And this doesn't just help your human readers scan the page, it literally gives the AI a roadmap to understand your content and figure out what the most important bits are. And finally, step 3 is schema markup. Now, please don't let the word code scare you off. The concept is super simple. It's like adding invisible labels to your content that only search engines can see. For example, you can label a piece of text as a product price or a set of instructions as a how-to guide. It just removes all the guesswork for the algorithm. You're telling it exactly what it's looking at. So why should you go through all this effort? Because the payoff is huge. Seriously, adopting an AEO strategy isn't just about getting a bit more traffic. It's about future-proofing your entire online presence. When you get down to it, it all boils down to 3 key benefits. First, you stay visible everywhere, in the classic search results and in those new AI summaries. Second, you start to build some real authority by becoming a trusted source. And finally, you're getting ahead of the curve, future-proofing your strategy for whatever comes next. But let's just focus on that authority piece for a second. The ultimate goal here is to build authority as a trusted source that AI engines quote directly. Just imagine that for a second. Google's AI quoting your brand by name in an answer. That's not just a click. That is a massive public endorsement.
So I'll leave you with this final thought. Take a good, hard look at your website and ask yourself this one crucial question. Is my content built to answer questions, or is it just built to rank for keywords? Because in the age of answer engines, only one of those strategies really has a future.